She is not happy. Oh my God. All right, we're going to get started. Sorry, I'm trying to see if she's going to calm down. All right, you guys. First off, I love you all so much, and I would love to see your beautiful faces. So I don't care if you feel like you're a hot mess or not. You can turn your cameras on because I would love to see you guys. So I'm going to go over just a couple things, but here's what I really want you guys to do. I know that most of you that are on right now, we're a part of conference. So I would love to hear from you guys, and you guys share an aha moment. If you guys don't want to share it, then you can definitely add it to the chat and I will share it for you. But I feel like there was just so much goodness. There were some amazing panels. You know, I feel like I can personally pick out my like favorite panels and favorite things that were said. Guys, I've been doing host to post for over a year to build my business as a triple diamond. And that was still one of my favorite panels. Like that was one of my favorite spots of the whole thing. And I just loved that. Afterwards, I realized that I was in a group chat with Evelyn and I'm like, oh my God, like she's sharing her verbiage right here with us. Like I have the number one person that I was drawn to. I'm in a group chat with her. So I'm like, I need to use that to my advantage. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to make sure that if you haven't seen the recording, because I know that some people are going to be watching this and they're like, I missed conference. I was working or I was this or I was that. I totally get it. And that's totally fine. But you guys have to make sure that you commit to doing it. And I think that's why they stressed the importance of take these 2 days and just pretend that you're actually at conference. And those of you who were on with me, you guys saw me nursing my baby. You guys saw me rounding up the children. Like that's what it was, because I needed to sit at this computer and actually be here, because as soon as these announcements dropped, I knew I wanted to get to work and I didn't want to have to go back and watch stuff. So please just make sure that if you did miss anything, watch it as soon as possible, because there are so many good nuggets in this. It's not even funny. So I'm not going to go over every single announcement that was made, because you guys, there was so many, but I obviously posted it in the team page. It's right at the top. I'll probably add it to, I actually have it right here. I'll probably add it to announcements. So just make sure that you read through those and you understand that. And I am going to say real quick, if you are somebody that is running after a promotion and a bonus, which I truly and honestly hope it's every single one of you, make sure you read in eSuites the specifics on that bonus. Okay. Like if it says you have to have 6 loyal customers on your front line, like personally enrolled, and you have to keep them, you have to do that. Okay. They're not just going to hand you a bonus if you don't follow those specifics. So there's just a couple things that you just want to make sure that you are good to go with. Okay. So I want you guys to share an aha if you have one. It doesn't have to be long. It can be one sentence. It can say, you know, honestly, Evelyn, the host to post panel, that was huge for me, because then somebody that hasn't seen that, they're going to go watch that, knowing that hit home for you. So whatever you saw, please feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourself. Like there's not a ton of people on, so you can just unmute yourself and share the aha. Would someone like to share first? Don't be shy.
I think there was a lot of good nuggets that were put in there. I really liked the panel with the 2 Ashleys, and I got a lot out of that. And one thing I got out of that was that they picked a word or a phrase that meant something to them, and they're chasing that. Yeah. So I picked mine, and that's progress over perfection.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
So that is what I've picked, and I have it in front of my computer so that I'm always reminding myself that's what I'm going for.
Awesome. And that reminds me of what they were saying with moving forward. If you're going to work your business on a consistent basis and a daily basis and follow the KPI, follow those steps to reaching your goal, and you're moving forward. So making progress. But absolutely, you definitely don't have to be perfect. So I love that. Who else has an aha? Amanda has one. Ooh, I like the hand up. The teacher in me liked that.
No problem. So I can't remember if it was 2 different panels yesterday, if it was all the same, but it was on the retention of customers and of the when it goes into their third month, right after their third order, because I'm coming up on that. Like, and so I was like, okay, that really hit. Like, okay, I want these people to stay. Okay, this is what I need to do. So I'm gonna go back and re-listen to it and write it down like word for word because I really liked what she said.
Awesome.
And then the other thing, I've been handwriting thank you cards to everybody, and I was like, oh my gosh, that app sounds like a lifesaver. Ink cards. And so I already downloaded it and I'm getting started on that because I'm like, oh my gosh, save myself some time.
And just so you know, there's a way for you to buy it in bulk so that you don't have to pay for one at a time. Honestly, I told myself, actually, my New Year's resolution, one of the things is I need to be more thoughtful just because I get so busy with life and like things are crazy. And I'm a really thoughtful person and I think it in my head, but I don't express it. So I want to be more thoughtful and put that out there. And I actually had just said the other day, I want to send people cards. And why can I'm on my phone anyways. Why can I not just send somebody a card through ink? You get to personalize it. So anyways, where I'm going with this is you can buy it in bulk so that you don't have to pay for each one individually. And it saves you a bunch of money by paying for like 20 upfront or something like that. So just so you know.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Who else has an aha? Hi, Tara. Sherry, come on. You've got one.
Okay, I'm not a talker. Well, you would say differently now.
I was like, you are a talker when you want to be.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't went through I do a lot of picture taking and I hadn't gone through, but the lady that was older, she was in her 50s, her story, I hadn't had time to look through because I was trying to get dinner ready for my family. I relate to her so much, her story, and it just made me feel like that I'm 48 years old and I feel like that, I can actually do this. And I've been in the business for 3.5 years now. And I feel like now that I see somebody that age that I can. So she kind of inspired me to feel like that, I felt like I was going to give up at one point. And now that I feel like, I can push and keep on going. Yeah. And of course, this amazing team is helping me so much. Now that I'm finally connected with some people, it's going to help so much. But that's I've got a lot out of it.
I know.
Yeah. She was so inspiring, just hearing her story, and I've got her picture and everything. I've already gone in and followed her, but I can't remember her name.
So, I think her name's Robin.
Yeah, I did go follow her because when they were up there, I was going in trying to follow them so I wouldn't forget to do that. But I do have everything in my phone. I just hadn't had time.
Well, while we're on here, feel free to add anything to the chat.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through and find her name. But it was just so inspiring to know that she's 48 years old. She was 50 and I'm 48. Yeah, and that if she can do it, I sure enough can. So.
Absolutely. And something that what you just said kind of reminded me. Knowing that there's going to be struggles ahead of time so that when those struggles happen, you're kind of like a peace out, see you later. I knew you were coming, onward. Like when I was pushing for my promotions, like I can't even tell you how much that helped me because you guys, diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, every single promotion that I went, I had somebody quit on my chart, a $400 that I needed for that promotion. Every single promotion, it was like the last day or two. So you guys, when I went triple, I was like, bring it on. I've already got a backup plan. You know what I mean? So if you kind of play the game a little bit in your head, and that's really goes along with the mindset, but if you know there's going to be struggles, then just accept it. And when they come along, be like, whatever, see you later. Like it truly is. How many times did they mention the word mindset?
Yeah.
That's literally the one conference that I kept hearing mindset. And I'm like,
And 3.5 years ago, my mindset was totally different than it is today. It has changed so much. I was that person that was afraid to go live. I was that person that was afraid to really do anything. Afraid to even, when I first joined, I was afraid to even message people. Yeah. So I've come out of my box so much because of my 3.5 years, and I've seen so much.
How long have you been in? Because I wanted to share something so that you guys can maybe have a little bit of an aha moment. Sherry signed with somebody who signed with somebody who signed with me. So I signed a girl who is no longer in the business who signed a girl who is no longer in the business, who signed Sherry, and Sherry and I talk all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So when
'Cause I
you're
didn't give up.
signing people, like obviously like work with them and help them and like do everything, but like don't totally give up the fact that all these other things that they can do, even if they don't see what this business can do for them, if they don't see the vision, if they have, you know, whatever it may be, whatever their excuse, and I'm not going to say their reason because it truly
Yeah.
is an excuse,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, they may bring on somebody that might change your business. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind
Exactly.
while you're doing this too. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Christina, do you want to share something?
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
So my aha moment came from yesterday. Um, I have always been hesitant with posting just because I felt like I did not have this long backstory or I did not have like all of these results that everyone else has. But I am a girl in my early 20s, college dropout at the moment, trying to go back to school, working 2 to 3 jobs to get out of my parents' house. Um, Fighting depression and anxiety. And yesterday, I realized that I do have a story and that I do have a way to connect with people and to make that connection. And so that really hit hard with
Good
me
for you.
yesterday.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you saw that. And I feel like sometimes you just need to hear from other people to really, I don't want to say catch the vision, because I feel like that's kind of like silly and like kind of, you know what I mean? But I
Right.
feel like, you know, when I went to my first event, it wasn't even a conference, it was a green carpet. When I went to my first event, I saw this girl on stage and I just felt like I could totally relate to her. And that
Mhm.
in that moment, I was like, I can do this. Like I might not have a story right now, but I'm going to do whatever I can do to reach my goals. And along that way, I'm going to create my story. So,
Right, exactly.
so yeah, good for you. And you sound like you have one heck of a why. So you totally got this. So good for you. All right. Who else has an aha moment that they would like to share? What up, Meek?
Uh,
How about you?
um,
You yourself.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep. No.
Okay. Um, I always feel like when I go to conference, the entire experience is an aha moment, and it doesn't matter how often I go or how often I participate in workshops or events or whatever. It's always good to hear over and over and over again, um, really people's stories and like information on the comp plan and social media and all the things that are changing and influencing. Um, the one thing I really, really appreciated this time was they stressed the fact that it's a journey and we're all on a journey. And my absolute favorite quote from like if there's one thing I walk away from, it's the one quote that I loved was long-term consistency over short-term intensity. Because when we push for these promotions, a lot of times it's like push, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. But in all reality, if you are doing things consistently every single day, you don't really, I mean, you still have that hustle and you still have that push, but it doesn't have to be as stressful. And I know Katie and I were talking about that, you know, last year when I don't even know, well, when we promoted to Diamond, it was hard and it was very intense.
Yeah.
However, since they've implemented KPI and they've stressed the fact that, you know, do your steps to success, it doesn't have to be um, so stressful, I would say. And it's because of consistent work
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And it doesn't happen if you don't have the mindset. So that's what I really appreciated this time. So
Well,
it's a journey. Don't quit, learn, and overcome the obstacles
yeah.
always.
Awesome. I'm going to share something super vulnerable, and I don't want to say I feel uncomfortable sharing it, but I just feel like things have changed so much since I've promoted to Diamond versus promoted to Triple or whatever it may be, or maybe it's the year versus now. But when I went Diamond, I feel rude saying this. It wasn't about my team. It wasn't about me helping my team. And I feel bad saying that. I truly do, but it wasn't about them. And do you want to know why? It's because I don't think that I, in that moment, was like helping them reach their promotions. But then I look at the people that I had in those leadership roles, they didn't want it. I was placing people under them to help myself go diamond, to help myself get a $10,000 bonus. So I don't know what you can take from that, but if anything, helping people on your team promote is going to help you also promote. So if you're pushing to go diamond, which let's be honest, a lot of people are right now, your job is to help 3 people go ruby. So go sign 3 people right now. Okay. Your job is to sign 3 people, and then you're going to help those 3 people go ruby. And then you're going to help those 3 people go emerald. And then you're going to help those, right? So if you're helping them go ruby and reach their promotion and reach their goals and their bonuses, gosh, they have an emerald bonus. I'm sorry. I've been in this business 7 years. They've never had an emerald bonus, like ever. That's amazing. So you signing 1 person today, it's your job to help them sign 2 people. Once they sign those 2 people are going to go ruby. And then after that, they're going to get that emerald bonus. So I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not easy, but don't overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Do the steps, follow the steps, and you have an incredible team to help you reach those goals. And my God, is it not so simplified now? Like those of you who have been in this business for years, you know what I'm talking about. Like boards, it's mind blowing how simplified boards is making things. Like if you sign a distributor today, you get to add them into boards, and they literally have all their closing scripts. And me, I am trying to work on a Diamond Dynasty one so that you guys also have access to that as well. Obviously, Izzy makes things a little more difficult for me. So I am working on that. So you'll have these things to not only use for yourself, but then use for your new distributors as well. So, and when you sign a distributor, you're not the only one helping them. I'm also here to help you as well. Like I said with Sherry did not sign with me, but I'm also, she knows dang straight that if she signs a distributor tonight, I'm going to be there right next to her, holding her hand, helping her with that new distributor. I do want to share, Alexis said, because she's eating dinner with her husband, but she said that the host to post really got to her, made her very uncomfortable, but it made her get out and ask. She's only gotten 1 no thank you, and that's okay. So she was in our chat, and she had said, I just asked people to host a post, and she never has before. So the thing that I feel that for me to kind of share with that is, I remember being so uncomfortable and scared, and I'm trying to think who on here remembers when, and I think Leslie, Sherry, you probably do too. When I went live on Facebook for the first time, I was like, for the love of Pete, what is live? It's literally a reality TV show where they're just waiting for me to do something stupid. Like, it just made me very, very uncomfortable. Okay. Do you guys see my lives now? I don't care what happens. So I'll go live and I'll make my coffee, or I'll make my this, or my kids are in the background. Guess what? It just makes me that much more relatable to the other person that is interested in working their business from their phone. So and that just goes to say the mindset and the mind shift that you need to make. I was absolutely terrified of doing live videos, like terrified. And if you see my first live video I did, I probably put my kid on there 80% of the time, because I was very uncomfortable with how everything was working. So you've got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit, and think of it this way. Like, your comfort zone is like right here. You stepping outside your comfort zone, I promise you, your comfort zone is going to grow, and it's going to grow. And as you start to try new things, you're going to be so much more comfortable with things. And think of yourself as a diamond leader next month. Can you tell your team, hey guys, you should do a live video. Hey guys, you should do Instagram stories of you making your coffee. But what if you're not doing an Instagram video making your coffee in the morning? But what if you're not using the products? Like, you've got to be doing these things. If then you are a diamond leader and you're telling your team to do all these things that people always tell you to do to grow your business, you've got to be leading by example. You've got to be leading your team from the front. Right now is your chance to do that. Hang on, I have to text Kyler. So you've got to step out of your comfort zone. And like I said earlier, do not wait till June to do this. Do not wait till November. They do not bring out all these crazy, amazing, huge bonuses. You guys, we just announced the Slimming Gummies, and those are the biggest product launch in 20 years. Do I need to say that again? Like, stop overcomplicating things. Share the Slimming Gummies, upsell them with TFX and the coffee, and move on to the next person. Stop overcomplicating it. Like, I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, hi, these are the greens. Oh, hi, this is hair, skin, nails. Actually, hair, skin, nails came out when I was like in for 2 years. But like, I was sharing all these different products. And now I'm like, oh my God, I wish somebody would have just told me, don't overcomplicate it. Get good on one product and share the crap out of that. And for me, honestly, when I first started, it was the greens. Like, I loved the greens. I was terrified of the wraps because I didn't know how they worked. But you've got to figure out what works for you. If you're somebody that's maybe a hairdresser, then hair, skin, nails is probably going to be the number one thing that you're going to push. But if you're somebody like me, I'm telling you right now, Slimming Gummies, I'm about to own. And you know how I'm going to own it? These next 30 days, I'm going to do every host a post on Slimming Gummies. And I'm going to get all these customers, and I'm going to sign some distributors. And then guess what? In 30 days, when I have some bomb results ready to share, all those host to posts are getting my personal results picture on top of them. You've got to think about how you can constantly be, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically like a domino effect. Okay. You've got to use the products, you guys. It's health and wellness, for God's sakes. And if you don't need to lose weight, then figure out another product that maybe you want to use. We have a ton of products that are great, including the skincare line. So it doesn't have to be like, I personally am pushing the weight loss stuff because, hi, I just had a baby, so bring it on. So I'm going to be pushing it. I'm going to be using it every day. I'm going to be sharing it every day. Okay. And then I'm going to be doing host to post with the Slimming Gummies. And if I'm not doing Slimming Gummies, I am doing TFX or the coffee. Those are the 3 products that I'm pushing. You will not really hear me talk about much else. Cleanse I'll do. Okay. So I'll switch it up every now and again, but that's about it. Okay, Robin, oh, God, Vengadez. That's her name, from Sherry, what she was talking about. Okay, so I text Kyler, so he'll be hopping on. Stop eating. That's my alarm for stop eating. See, I literally have alarms in my phone for everything. Stop eating. They're like, you have an alarm to stop eating? Yes, I need to tell myself when to stop eating. Okay. Does anybody else have an aha that they would like to share? If not, I am going to go through some of my notes and just talk about some stuff before Kyler hops on. Anyone have an aha? And you can stop me at any time and share if you're like, you know what, this one actually spoke to me. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things before he hops on. Okay. Guys, the workshops were really cool. I really liked that you could do that on your own time. That was really awesome. And I was using my iPad with my, oh, Kyler's coming on. All right. I'll finish that thought later. Hey.
Hey guys.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys? Hey.
We are good. We are so good. And we're so excited after today. Oh my goodness. It's a little overwhelming, but a very good overwhelming feeling. So how are you? Good to see you up on that stage.
Oh yeah. I had a few different moments up there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, have you guys been going for a minute or did you guys just get started?
No, we've been going for 30 minutes and we've been sharing aha moments.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce me a little bit to who's on here?
Absolutely. Guys, this is Kyler Pentecost. He is the CEO's son. Very, very popular. I have known him so I've been in the business for 7.5 years, and gosh, I've pretty much known you that entire time. So, and I can remember back to when I would go to conference and I would get to know him and Cammie, and we would have my gosh, we would have dinners with his parents, okay, the CEO and the CEO's wife, and then also the grandparents. And meeting your family, I think, was just the most amazing experience for me, because I think it really showed me what this business was truly about. Like for me, I kind of just thought it was a business, and it really didn't have much family feeling to it. And that first conference I went to and I met your family, I was like, oh, this is a lot different than what I really thought. But anyways, so Kyler is now you're part of corporate basically, but he was always our upline. So he has kindly reached out to do this for us. And I'm just so beyond thankful and grateful for that, because I just have always looked up to you. And I'm just so thankful for you taking time to pour into our team. So thank you so much. But feel free to say anything about yourself if you would like.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I just want to know a little bit about each of you. So, we know that Danielle's been here for 7.5 years. Raise your hand if you have been here for more than 3 years. Okay, awesome. Raise your hand if you've been here for more than 1 year. Awesome. So we have about half of you that are new over the last year, and half of you, that joined, somewhere between 7.5 and 2 years-ish in that time. So, that's actually really exciting. So first of all, I'm Kyler Pentecost. And I got my start in the field. It wasn't always a huge company. We started in 2001, and it wasn't until 2011 that we did, like, in an annual year, 19 million in sales. And we went from 19 million to 40 million to 220 million to 750 million. And like, the growth and the company that we've become is phenomenal. But that said, I was actually a lawyer, not a lawyer. I was a legal administrative assistant out in Washington, D.C., looking to go to law school. And I thought I had my whole life planned out. And I had been a distributor 2 times prior, failed miserably. So if any of you have failed before at this or another company, join the club. You're nothing special. But essentially, my sister called me and you saw her on stage, Cammie. She called me for over a year saying, it's different. You have to trust me. You have to do this with me. And I was very condescending in my responses. I was what you called not a hater. I was a customer, and I was a very loyal customer. and what I really didn't have was belief in myself to do this. I had a lot of belief in myself as a person, as a capable human being. I thought there's no way I'll be good at this. And so, interesting enough, Cammie ninja'd me, and she said, I want you to take some before and afters, 2-3 people. And if you do that and no one wants this, then I'll never talk to you about it again, which would have been a lie. I'm just letting you know there's no way that would have been true. But I didn't make it past 1 person. And the first person I shared it with was so excited. She's like, I talk about losing weight every single day. You know this. I also talk about needing more money and wanting ways to make more money. And you're over there sitting on this. And I think I gave her a line of, you're supposed to be a friend who supports me in not doing this, and you need to stop. And for a week, she would come over and she would say, we're doing this. I don't care. I'm doing it without you. I'm gonna find your sister online if I have to. And after an entire week, I finally caved and I joined. But it even took me a year before I started working. I did 1 or 2 things in that year. And quite honestly, it was fear. This format of success, sparked a lot of fear in me. And I will say that it was going to events like the one you went to today that completely transformed me and allowed me to see something different. I also watched a movie, if you ever heard of Eat, Pray, Love, it's kind of like becoming a classic more than just a new one out. But I remember watching Eat, Pray, Love, and I felt like, in that movie, Julia Roberts has multiple breakdown moments in her life. And those breakdowns are her feeling like, this can't possibly be it. I can't be on the path that will be my life. And I would wake up at night in sweats after I saw that movie, like, this is me. Like, this cannot be all that there is. This can't be everything. Like, I will die trying to make this all that there is. And I don't know if any of you have ever felt that way. But for me, I was in a good job. I mean, I had a successful job. I was but like, it was dry in terms of how it was filling me up. And yeah. So what I will tell you is my journey as a Knitworks distributor was one of the most fulfilling life journeys I've ever been through. I mean, I came to know the Lord here. I came to know myself here. I got to know so many special people and be a part of their transformation. And more than the money, more than anything else, this is one of the most powerful places to feel worthy, to get into a calling, to actually be excited to live. And that might sound so strange, but there are so many people that find a lot of what they were called to be in their work, in that sort of a place. And so it really is not that crazy. And one thing that's so wonderful here is our success hinges on building relationships with other people and helping them get healthier and helping them get wealthier. And that is a little bit of a tagline, but it's the truth. It's why we're here. And the one thing I want you to know is that, you joined a group, like, you are in the organization that I built. Many, many, many levels down. But you are directly connected to me through Danielle. And I want you to understand where God's placed you. Because, like, to me, this is family. Like, I've been on 5 Zooms before this, but this is family. You guys have a need, if you guys are looking for, like, I'm there. It's the shirt off my back to be there. And what I would say is it's a special place that you've been placed. Danielle is going after this thing. If Danielle reached out to me and said, I need to find 5 distributors that are just killing it in the business, I would be spending my week looking for 5 people to connect Danielle to. If that is something that you guys are at that place, you know what I mean? You're connected. Danielle is not direct to me. I mean, I think that when I look, Danielle's on my 17th level. 17th level. And yet, if Danielle calls or reaches out to me, I'm doing whatever it takes. And I pray before I do any of these, and I felt like the Lord wanted me to make sure you understood. You are family. This is family. When you guys come to our next in-person conference, we'll have a moment where we get together and where you're going to meet me, you're going to meet my sister, you're going to meet my parents, you're going to meet my grandparents, because you're family. So I'm just going to start there. And from there, I'm going to say 2021 is going to be off the charts. It's already started bigger than any year has started in probably the last 7 years of the company in terms of growth. And so if you aren't experiencing growth, it's not because growth isn't there for you. It's because you got to tap into it. And so even, we just went through conference, we just went through 1 million panels. We just did, and what I'll first say is Danielle is connected to some really strong leaders in It Works. And so the methods and the business plan and all of the things that she's implementing and teaching and coaching, you guys are getting some of the best stuff. So you're following the right person. What I will say is your style is going to be, everyone's going to have different styles. I joined Cami. Cami is unbelievable. She's got a very different style than I have. However, I would always go to her for how are you organizing success this year? How are you helping a new person get their wins? How are you getting your daily wins? How are you organizing your mind? You know what I mean? Like, what are you reading? How should I be connecting? Those are all things that I wanted from Cami. Now, here's the thing. Cami was red to the bone, and I'll take you or I'll leave you. Like, I called her one day when my check went down crying, and she said, call me back when you're done being a loser. Like, it is in yellow and it's not the same. She's super effective. So what I'll tell you is, some of you, your leadership styles won't be exactly like Danielle's, but what Danielle has to give you is there's nothing like what she has to give you in terms of the success path that is for you. And you get to be a leader in this community with her that brings something special that you have. So what did I have? I had a work ethic. I was very determined. I also was very green. Like, I was the person that knew the compensation plan. I graphed my entire downline to know like where I was growing, where leaders, like, that's not everyone. And I love that that's not everyone. But I also, that was me. Cami was not that. And yet I say this to say, I helped a lot of Cami's leaders with things that Cami couldn't help them with, even though I was still following, edifying, and greatly rewarded because Cami was my leader. Cami wasn't a lover. I was. I always spoke from my heart. I always made sure that I spoke. I always made sure that I led. I had strong declarations for my future, and it worked. You need to do the same. This is going to be like a huge year for all of you. And I will say Danielle's going to have the nuts, the bones, she's going to, I even feel like she's going to tell you like the level of discipline you need to have to execute it, because quite honestly, those people speaking, they've got discipline like you wouldn't believe, but the reward is so great, not just one time, but over and over. Do you know, like, I'm at corporate, I'm not able to bring on new distributors because of my corporate role right now. However, I still get to be paid on the downline I made, and I still make multiple six figures. I mean, like there's six figures that's 100,000, then there's six figures that's like 500,000 and stuff like that. Like, I'm in a generous six figures still 3 years after going to corporate. And that means that what you dedicate and give to this right now today is going to give to you over and over and over and over again. This is a retirement plan. This is an investment for your future. This is like, you're going to want to sit down with your family or people that are in close relationship with you to let them know, I'm going to seem crazy over the next 90 days. I'm going to seem so excited. You may feel concerned for me, but it's going to be what I'm going to do. And this is how much time it's going to take in the evening and in the morning and in the, and you set that schedule and you have those conversations. And some of the things you can do is like, stop doing dishes, start buying paper, plates and plastic. You know what I mean? Like every 5 minutes that you can save and dedicate to this is going to be worth it. And I couldn't be more proud of Danielle. I will say, I don't just jump on Zooms or talk to someone about like anyone in the downline. I do it with people who I see, who I'm like, you are gold. And Danielle has been consistent, constant, and she has proven her leadership. And for that reason, I'm all in for your group. I'm all in for this group and taking you guys to that next level and being your advocate in every way, shape, or form. And I'm here tonight because I want to hear some of your ahas. I want to hear some of your passions and your goals. And I want to hear from Danielle as well as you guys. Like, where are you ready to go this year? And what did this conference do for you? But with all that said, Danielle, I'm going to kind of pass it over to you because we could take questions. I could hear from you guys. We can really go a few different routes at this time. I can tell you what I'm reading and how I would go about setting your mindset each day, like whatever you want.
Well, thank you for all of that. I truly do appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much. And I have to share what Leslie just wrote because it's just so true. And I feel like it goes hand in hand with what I shared before, but she wrote, Kyler is how I knew that I was going to be okay in this business. And I feel like that's the feeling I got when I, met your family. Like I knew that I was in the right place. And guys, I don't want to sound silly when I say this, but I'm not somebody that like prays every single day. Like I'm not somebody that reads the Bible. Like I'm just not that kind of person, but I do go to church and, stuff like that. And I'm telling you, when I walked into the arena and I heard his mom on stage praying, I was like, what? I'm sorry, what's happening right now? What did I just walk into? And then you get to know her and her heart and the family. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much more than just a business, like a MLM. You know what I mean? There's so many people that just don't get it. So you have the opportunity to really be a part of that. And that's what's just so special. And people that have been in this business for a while and, know your family and they really have the opportunity of seeing that. And that is just so huge. And I just wanted to share that real quick with what Leslie kind of shared as well. For people that have known me before I got started in this business, and there's very few people that are on right now, but like this business over the last 7 years has changed me tremendously. And something that I heard that was just so true is that like, yes, the paycheck, yes, the this, yes, the that, but like allow yourself to change. And so many people I think are actually afraid of that. And it's like, you've got to step outside your comfort zone and just try new things because you're becoming somebody that's just incredible. And if I look back at the person that I was, like 7-8 years ago, like I was a teacher with a bubble this big thinking I could never make more than $2,000 a month, like never. That was with 2 master's degrees. So what was I supposed to do as a mom having 3 babies now? Like I was supposed to just throw these kids in daycare and basically I'm paying the amount of money for daycare that I am making as a teacher. That's not what I want. I want so much more than that. So when I got started in this business, I really just wanted to help pay for my wedding. But when I realized that it could be that more, it could be that thing that I was able to do, and it would be more for not only me, but for my kids and my family. That's when that light bulb went off for me. And that's when I truly got to work. And coming to what Kyler said about like these next 90 days, guys, hear me when I say this. You can have your mindset in the right place and you can be ready to go, but you have got to communicate with your husband, your kids. Yep. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say kids. Honey, we're having bath time tonight, but mommy's going to have the phone in her hand. Communicate that with them because it is going to change their lives. But if you don't communicate that with them or your husband or whatever, like, guys, I'm telling you, Parker watched so much Mickey Mouse Clubhouse when I was pushing for double diamond, or was it triple diamond? I don't care. He does not know. He doesn't even remember that. So who even cares? But like, look at where I'm at right now. I'm not in the classroom teaching. I'm able to be home, and I just had our 3rd kid and I'm able to stay home with her. So think about what this can do for you from years from now. And I'm not even going to get into the fact about what I was able to do with my dad while he was sick and what I was able to do. I'm going to start crying, so I'm not going to even get into it, but think about when life gets really, really hard. You don't want to think about that. I know you don't, but trust me, it's going to happen. And this business can help change that. And I know some people really don't get it, but if you're on this team, you've seen what I went through this last year. And because of this business, I was able to help my dad and I was able to help my mom. And for that, I'm a lifer in this business. I will always be here, and I will always be here helping every single one of you reach exactly what you want to reach for and then above. And that's why I always say, you've got to dream a little bit bigger. I only wanted to help pay for my wedding, for God's sakes. But once I really saw what this business could do for me, and if you would have told me in 2020, you're going to have your whole world rocked, And you're going to need to take time away from this business for a little bit because your life's going to be the hardest it's ever going to be. I would have worked so hard. I would have put my kid in front of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse all day and all night. So you have got to get to work right now. And you've got to communicate with your husband, and you've got to communicate with your friends that want to go get a pedicure or have a wine night. I'm sorry, but if they're not going to join your team, you can talk to them in 90 days. This right now is your time, and you're going to be so thankful in a year from now, in 2 years, 7 years, who cares how long? Because like Kyler said, this is your retirement plan. For me, this is my chance to stay home with my babies, and I will be forever grateful for that. So sorry, I got a little emotional and had to share a couple of things, but I'm just so thankful for what this business has done for me. And I just want that so badly for every single one of you. And that really is my dream right now for all of you. I'm able to stay home with my kids. I love this business. I love what I do, and I'm not settling, but my why is to help every single one of you. But you guys have got to get to work. You guys have got to be intentional with your time. You guys have got to be consistent. You guys have got to stay plugged in. I'm telling you, Jade Hooper is my spirit animal. I will never miss one of her Zooms. So you've got to find that leader. If Jade Hooper's not for you, that's fine, but you've got to find that person that is for you and stay plugged in with what they're sharing and what they're doing and get to work. And you've got to, and this is, I just love that Kyler is bringing out his yellow, because y'all know I have like none of that. That's why I hang so close with Leslie, because Leslie is like, I'll message her and be like, all right, I need you. Hi, bring out the yellow. But I am very red and green. But like right now is the time for us to really hustle and get to work and not make excuses. You have got to sign distributors. If you guys want Ruby and you want Diamond and you want that Diamond bonus, I'm telling you, when I got that Diamond bonus, my whole world changed. And it wasn't even based on a paycheck, you guys. It really opened my eyes to see what this business could do for me. So you've got to get to Diamond. If you really want this business to change your life, which, hello, you're on this Zoom right now. I know you want it to change you. You've got to get to Diamond, and you've got to sign distributors. So Kyler, one of the questions that I did get from a couple of people is they're looking for tips on how to sign distributors. So I could talk all day about like, do this, do this, do this, do this. But like, I kind of want to hear from you on like, what are your tips on maybe how to go Diamond and how to sign distributors?
Are you guys building fully on social, or are you building fully in person, or a bit of both?
I would say most are on social. I do know a couple, you know, there's a girl on here that there's a couple girls that are more like in person with like a gym or something like that. But for the most part, it is on social. Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say this. Me and Danielle will talk, but we will figure out how you earn this. But we're going to put a contest out there. And there's something that I very rarely do because it's a very intensive thing. It's actually I don't do it because it takes a lot of myself to do this, but I'm going to do it with two of you. I'm not doing it with Danielle specifically in this way because Danielle has found a lot of things already, but I want to do it with two of you. In my journey, I had to transform. I had to break through some major ceilings. And I'm trying to even like, there comes a time in life where someone needs to introduce you to yourself. Like the you that is gonna rock the heck out of every single person they meet, encounter, and just change the world, set it on fire. There was a before of me, and this is my after that you see and you meet today. But what I'm gonna say is that it was Pam Souter who did this intensive with me. And it's all vision. It's a vision and dream type thing that will help you discover like the inner warrior. It would be like if Anthony Robbins did a personal session with you. And so I've done this for a few people. It's extremely transformative. It's not anything light. It's something that as I look here, I'm like, we need this tool. And Danielle will be present on those calls because I want to teach Danielle how to do this. And so, but two of you will win this. And we'll decide what it'll take to win it, and she'll let you guys know in whatever way you guys stay connected. So Danielle, we'll have to get together off of this and figure that out. But
Absolutely. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. I find that the first thing I want to say is I don't like to just sign distributors. I'm personally the type of person that signs people that are essentially they catch the vision of where I'm going and join me in it. And the reason I'm going to say it that way is because there is someone who paid $39 and put their information into the system who you will never hear from again. And there are people who join you in where you're going, and they lock arms and you two achieve great things together. And I don't know about you, but like I'm big on signing distributors and going after it and like going big. I am. But there's a quality that I desire because I do not tolerate the wasting of my time. Now I say that aggressively. I'm super yellow and I probably tolerate it all the time. But I have a threshold for what I expect. And my expectation is that people that are in my space will know that that is a special space to have, and they will be like ready to go. And if someone leaves that space, it's like, see you later. I'm too busy going where I'm going. And that's actually how it feels. So what I would say is, I think the first way to build upon your ability to sign distributors is to grow your vision for where you're going and your connection to the reality that you're going to get there. You know, I fully know that when someone joins me, I know and this is stuff you'll get from Danielle. This is like, I always have like a foundation to my belief systems. And it's in my belief systems that I have the confidence, and it transforms how I even engage with people. So I know that when someone joins me, they're going to get their 6 customers. They're going to get their 3 distributors. They're going to make Ruby as long as they stay focused with me and do the things that I'm directing them to do and stay connected. What does that mean? That means that I know that when I'm talking to someone that they will make an extra $500 a month or more. That means that I know that I can help them turn around and help the 3 people that join them do it and go diamond. What does that mean? It means a $5,000 emerald bonus and a $10,000 diamond bonus. What does that belief and that understanding for me do to every single person that I talk to? It means that before I've even said something, I have this knowing lined up in me that this is the best thing that could have happened to them. And there's nothing you can do to, like, you need to get there. You need to dream about this stuff. You need to have a vision for where you're going. And you need to be connected. If you're like, I can't sign 6 customers, how am I ever going to help someone sign 6 customers? I will tell you that you will never sign those people, and you're not going to help. I mean, if that's where you are, but you don't have to stay there. I mean, I've been there, but you don't. Danielle could sign probably like 50 customers like in the next 3 weeks if she wanted to, and show you what she's doing so that you could do that too. But you need to believe in yourself to be able to start implementing it and doing it, if that makes sense. And so part of this is growth, is where I want to start with. You know, how do you sign distributors? You become the person that people want to be around, and you become the person that has the direction and the vision for where you're going that they want to join. And that is truly, I still walk around and people join It Works constantly. And like, I was literally just getting a massage and someone said, oh, I know about It Works and those wraps. And I said, well, that's interesting because no one leads with wraps these days. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, have you ever heard of like the keto movement or bulletproof coffee, where people go and get grass-fed butter and MCT oil? And I said, well, we have a movement where through intermittent fasting and through healthy green tea and great. I was like, we just have products that give people great results, and it's through coffee and tea. And we have a new thing called Slimming Gummy, and I think it's super exciting, and it's created a movement. And immediately, this person who was actually a hater, I've heard of it works, and those wraps, which even if I were leading with wraps, I would have had something for that. But I'm not. I'm leading with coffee. I love our coffee, and I freaking obsessed with our Slimming Gummies. They're like the most. If you haven't received your Slimming Gummies in the mail yet, they're the most delicious thing in the like. They're unbelievable, and they do make. They're really good. So all that to say, when I got off that table, she said, I want to become a customer. She didn't just become a customer. She chose a pick six. She didn't just choose a pick six. She called me 2 hours later and said, so what if I did want to be a distributor? I hadn't even talked about being a distributor with her, but she met me and she felt what I had to give about what this was that we're doing here at It Works. And she wanted to be a part of it. And I literally was, I mean, I know the times when I'm signing people. This was a time where I was like, well, then I'll have to figure out what type of way you want to grow so that I can connect you with a leader that can help you do that. And she was like, well, then you're going to need to do that. How much is it to sign up? And I said, well, it's $39 and there's only 10,000 people that can do it. And it's been going for a little bit. So it'll be $99 when that's done. She said, well, you better find someone like tonight. And I said, well, I'm not going to be able to do that. I said, I can get you someone tomorrow and we can hope that it's still there. And she signed up, and she, that week, 4 days later, was hosting her first launch party. And I will tell you that, like, Danielle's going to tell you how. Like, this is how you're building relationships on social. This is how you're connecting with more people. But I'm telling you, you need the belief. You need the understanding here. If you don't feel good about being a Knitworks distributor, we can't settle for that feeling. If you feel ashamed when you talk to people, we need to pull up the rug and look at that dirt that you keep shoving under the rug. Because I'm telling you, first of all, I'm going to give you a PDF. Read the 4-year career. That was a huge PDF that I read. And when I read it, it was the first time that I felt super proud of what this plan, what $500 a month, which I knew anyone could create here, what that meant for someone's future. That nothing on the planet can give anyone. Literally, nothing on the planet can give someone what we can give them. And when I felt that, for $39 right now, I can offer people $500 a month, $6,000 a year towards whatever memories they want to make with their family, towards whatever SEP IRA that they're looking to build, towards whatever. I was literally up at night thinking, I just read a study that said I'm going to need $3 million when I retire in order to actually retire because of inflation. And I don't even know how I'm going to have $100,000 in my bank account. Like, those were the things keeping me up at night. And then I read the 4-year career and I'm like, this is the thing. This is my $500 a month. This is my future. This is the future I can give everyone. But for you, you need that. You need to fight for that. You need to fight for your belief and your understanding that, yeah, someone can pay $40,000 a year to go to higher education and get another job that may not even exist by the time that they graduate, and spend all of their nights, all of their weekends, time away from their kids, and make them watch Mickey Mouse and end up with not a job and not a new retirement plan. You know what I mean? Like, this is rare air, rare space. We're doing it on social. It's in the middle of a pandemic where people are laying people off and closing down businesses. And we grew 60% the first month in the pandemic because our corporate team immediately transitioned the plan, immediately empowered customer production. You know, you're in some rare space and some rare air in a company that can lift you up and every person you bring to it. So what I'm going to say is, how did I do it? I built relationships, whether it was online or offline, and I was always doing both. And anytime I built a relationship offline, I made sure I was online with them, because that was my way of actually having tough conversations, because I always had a little bit of fear when I was with people to sometimes have certain conversations. But I will say, we think we need this to sign distributors. And what I have learned is that, I'm trying to think of how to put this into words. Okay, this is how I'm going to help you guys understand what I'm trying to convey. When I meet with the top leaders, I'll say, what's your biggest tip you give to get someone to be able to build their business? And they'll say things like, I walk outside in bare feet and I put my hands up like this, and I just let God know I'm ready for more. And by the time I go back to my computer, I usually have like 4 or 5 messages on social, and I sign distributors. And I'm like, she's a freak. Like, what? And I don't really think she's a freak. I think that the things that bring people into your business are different than we ever could imagine. And I used to think that I needed to tell people everything about the wrap to get them to buy it. And Pam Souter kept saying, first of all, you need to know that the wrap works. And then the only question you ask is, when they say, how does it work? You say, by putting it on. And for 2 years, I told myself, that's the dumbest response. That's not what they're asking. I need to tell them about ingredients. And 2 years later, I got over myself and I said, by putting it on. And they would say, but how does it work? And I would say, we just have to put it on and then it works. And they would say, but how does it work? And I would say, it's really easy. You just put it on. And they would say, okay, well, I'll put it on. And then my downline was able to say that. What were they not able to say? The ingredient thing I was saying. They weren't able to say, convince people the way that I was. I don't have time to grow an organization in a business that builds on multiplying, waiting for everyone to get to the confidence level of ingredients in a wrap to grow their business and their next customer. I do have the ability to say, all right, Sherry, you're new. The only thing you're going to say, and you're going to feel a little silly because they're asking about more, but all you're going to say is by putting it on. And when they ask again, you repeat yourself. And if they ask again, you show them a photo, and then you say, by putting it on. And then they will put it on and they will get a result and they will join your business. And that's it. And if they need more, you just hand them an ingredient list and you walk away. And they won't know what to do with that ingredient list, but they'll still put it on. Now, we're dealing with coffee, we're dealing with, but we have to be, I mean, like, the number one reason someone joins the business is because someone believed that they could be successful. That's all the studies, all the things. Where do they feel that? Rational people make emotional decisions and then they rationalize that emotion. Like, I'm actually there are lots of books on this stuff. But what I'm telling you is, they're not listening to the words. They're feeling something and then rationalizing it. And so you need belief in a way that gets them to have a feeling that they rationalize. And the only way to do that is just by, first of all, getting yourself on the level where you know that everyone can go here and do this and become that. And I feel like it's so long-winded, and I don't feel like I'm quite to the place where I finish yet. And but you're going to build relationships, and then you're going to share your belief, and you're going to do it without explanation. You're going to do it in a way that just knows. And then people are going to begin to join you. And it doesn't make sense. And I'm green. I am yellow and I am green. And it was very hard for me to understand that it won't make sense, but it will build. I also felt like I needed to have everyone chart diamond and know how to chart diamond. And I have to share this with you guys. Cammie signed a woman who she was on my same trajectory. She got to double diamond, which was like, at that time, the way to get to the top earner group was double diamond. There were only 50 of us in the whole company. And I was a double diamond, and a month passed after I met her. And she, in that month, I was still double diamond, and I had people quitting in my business. And I was like, kind of complaining. And I got on one of Cammie's calls, and Cammie announced on the 28th of January that she went triple. And then I was beside myself. I had 1 month earlier sat down with her because her team was really growing. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I don't know." And I was like, "What do you mean you don't know?" I'm like, "She's lying. She's not sharing her info. She's a B word." Like, I'm thinking all these judgments of her. And she's like, I'm like, "Yeah, how do you help all these people go diamond? How do you do that? Like, what are you doing? What are you coaching them on?" She's like, "I literally only know how to tell people sign 6 customers and 3 distributors and teach them to do it too." And I'm like, she's lying through her teeth. And she thinks that I'm a fool because there's not an ounce of me that believes anything that she's saying. And I spent an entire weekend with this woman, and I left that weekend like, she's never growing past double diamond because she is an idiot. Like, I know this sounds cocky. This is like green thinking. This is green personality. I'm listening to her like, never could it be that easy. You have no idea how to even basically enroll someone. Like, you don't know what a diamond chart is. You don't know. This is impossible in my mind. There's no connection to reality from what she's saying. So fast forward 1 month, she's been announced triple. And I'm like, that B word. Like, are you freaking kidding me? How did she do that? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I can't even get my people to join a Zoom. I can't even da. I just need to go get new people and teach them how to build to a diamond again and just redo that whole thing. And I was sad about it and all this stuff. 2 days later, she got announced that she double promoted to presidential. I literally locked myself in a bathroom. I threw an entire tantrum. Like, it was a full-on tantrum. And I locked myself in a bathroom. I was with 2 other leaders, and I locked myself in that bathroom because I was so pissed at myself. I was pissed at my negativity. I was pissed at my lack of belief. I was like, it's clear that the only person standing in the way of my growth is myself. And I am not leaving this bathroom until I figure out the next step. And like, when I left that bathroom, the biggest thing I knew was that, like, steps to success. Why steps to success? Have you ever told someone the entire list of what it means to become a distributor and they never talk to you again for a month? Because you overwhelmed them? I didn't join this company believing that I could barely make $500 a month. Like I said, I wouldn't even join Cammie for a year and a half because I didn't think I could sign a single person. Belief is a big barrier in our lives. A big barrier. And the steps to success is a bridge. And that bridge is what every person signing needs from you. You can say, once we do this, we're going to teach this. And then you're going to get a $5,000 emerald bonus and a $10,000 diamond bonus. and a $20,000 double diamond bonus. And they're going to say, how? And you're going to say, because you're going to sign the steps to success and teach the steps to success. And we're going to do it over and over and over. And you're going to print it out and you're going to do it again. And you're going to print it out and you're going to do it again. And you're going to teach duplication and you're going to keep it really simple. And when they say, how do you do it? You're going to say, I just tell people that there's a clinical ingredient that will help, slim your hips and it tastes really good. How does it work? By eating it. You just take 2 a day. I set an alarm on my phone and it has to be at the same time. But how do they work? You have to take them. You just eat them and you set your alarm clock. And you say, and it's as much fun as it is to take them, it's really fun to share them. And I do not talk about just taking, I talk about sharing. And I make sure that because someone who wants to take them had a good experience from you when you shared it with them. And so I just referenced, you just wanted it talking to me. And it's that simple. It's just sharing it like I just shared it with you. Through a host to post, through whatever way they got it. And you keep it simple and you work on your belief. How do you work on it? You connect and you show up and you build relationships with people that have belief and you become a believer and then you grow. And it's super long-winded, but that's it. We probably don't have much more time today. I'm sorry, I talked so much.
Oh my gosh, you are amazing. Thank you. I do, and that was long-winded, but I can bet every single one of these people on here are very appreciative of that long-winded answer. So thank you. I do want to end it with something real quick because I want to just share the couple of notes that I took. But number one, I'm obsessed with your yellow because I am terrible at being yellow. And I just am so thankful that instead of you answering, do host to post, do this, try TikTok. Instead of you giving like specific details, you're going very far back and you're talking about belief and you're talking about believing in yourself and you're talking about sharing and those things I need to hear. And I love to hear that because I'm telling you right now, if somebody came to me and said, I need to sign a distributor, I'm going to be like, okay, well, are you doing host to post? So I like that it even brings me back and kind of grounds me a little bit. So I really appreciate that you are sharing that. The other words that I wrote down that I loved, qualifying distributors. You didn't just say, go sign a distributor, fill that box. Like you're not saying those words, which I love and appreciate. You're talking about qualifying a distributor. And I shared before you got on, which is really ironic. I shared about how when I went diamond, I truly was filling boxes because I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't really have like the guidance on like what to do. Now I'm qualifying distributors in this business. I've been in long enough. I'm qualifying distributors. Whereas before I was just signing people up. So I just love that was shared as well. Confidence. Guys, if you don't have confidence, take my confidence for a little bit until you get your own, because confidence is definitely needed. And I remember people saying when I first started, like, fake it till you make it. And I was like, I don't really know what that means. It's getting that confidence. It's doing what you need to do to have that confidence. Even if you have to kind of fake that confidence a little bit, take my confidence away from me, use that to do whatever you need to do with that. And the last thing was simplify and duplicate. Simplify. And the things that we have nowadays, like boards, simplify things, make them easier. Don't go crazy with explaining the ingredients in something. You know what I mean? Simplify it so that it is duplicatable by these new distributors that are coming into the business. So I just wanted to leave it with that. But Kyler, I can't thank you enough for pouring into this team, our team, my team. We are truly so thankful. And I can tell you right now that next conference, when we are with you and with your family, every single one of those people up there are going to be diamond and above. I can promise you that because this was definitely a game changer Zoom, and the people that show up go up, and all the people that take time to watch the recording of this, I know that people are absolutely, it's a game changer for them, and it was a game changer for me. So I just can't thank you enough for taking time to pour into us. So I really, really, really appreciate it.
Awesome. And I really look forward to the two winners of this, like, I'm going to call it a little, like, it'll be a 2-day self-development workshop, and they're not back-to-back days you will have homework and you will not be the same. I've only done this with, I want to say, I think 12 people in my career.
Wow.
That's how intensive it is. But I am like, I believe in Danielle and your group, and this is going to add something that is going to change like two of you in some very significant ways. And I'm telling you this because the people I've done it with are still different. They become like a lifelong friend of mine because of us having this moment that changed them so much. And that I had this moment too. But I'm really looking forward to it. And I feel like Danielle, you're going to be like, why don't you do this more? And I honestly can't figure out why I don't, but for some reason it's very amazing, but it takes a lot out of me to do it. And yet I think it's going to empower you guys, and you'll be able to offer it a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad whoever those two people are that I get to ride on those coattails and learn about it.
Well, you'll be able to do it too with them because you're going to be learning it, but
oh, good.
You're going to be watching me do it with them so that you can kind of learn how to do it with people.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I'm really excited to learn more about that. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right, Kyler, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great night. Go relax with your family, and we'll definitely talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. That was so good. How are you guys? I'm sorry it's so long. I appreciate you guys all being on and staying on, my goodness, but he is just amazing. And I just love everything he shared. And you guys know he's like our person, and he's the best person that we could possibly connect with. He really is so good and so good to our team. And I think the number one person on this team that recognizes how helpful he is Lacey. She sees firsthand that he is my person, and I go to him for anything and everything, and he is beyond helpful. So we are truly lucky and thankful to have him on our side. And gosh, I just want all of you so badly to be diamond and above and be able to experience what we will be experiencing next conference, because I'm telling you right now, everybody that is at conference is going to be able to meet him and his family, and it literally will blow your mind being in the same room with these people. And I'm trying to think of, Tara may have met them last conference. I know Leslie was there for a couple conferences. I'm just trying to think if you've met them, but it is really incredible, just to put it lightly. So I appreciate you guys being on this Zoom. I know that it was a lot longer than planned, so I'm sorry for that, but hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. Does anybody have any questions? Best thing to read about personality colors, search the team page, personality colors. It is so important, you guys. As you can see, I am so far from yellow. And if you guys sit and have a conversation with Leslie, she's very yellow. And that's why I just love her so much, because I struggle with being yellow. I'm just, don't come to me with your excuses, da 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 da. Leslie will never say that to somebody. She will be like, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't have time for that. So color personalities and the people that are coming on your team, and recognizing if they are a yellow, they might need a little bit more love than somebody that is red. Somebody that is red, they just want you to tell them how it is because they've got too much stuff going on. They just want to get to work. So I'm very red and I'm very green. And that's why I appreciate, people that are yellow that can bring that kind of stuff to the table. So definitely do the color personality test. I can even make another post about it, and everybody can share their personality color in the comments, but it really is very incredible. And as a leader in this business, it's really great to know what color people are on your team, so you kind of know how to have those conversations with them. I'm telling you, and I apologize, Leslie, I keep using you, but when I learned that she was yellow and what a yellow personality was, I really had to take a step back and say, oh gosh, I can't talk to Leslie like a red personality. Leslie's going to walk away crying if I talk to her like a red personality. So that's why it's just so important as a leader to kind of learn the color personalities of people on your team. And it really helps you with how to address them and stuff. And I just want to say one more thing real quick, because I know that some people on this team have struggled with people leaving their team, or people really not working that hard on their team. And you're sitting there like, I just want emerald. I just want diamond. Like, why are these people not working? Number one, they don't see the vision that you and I see. Okay. Number one. So you can help them see that vision, or you can go find somebody that is going to see the vision. And that's why I loved what Kyler said about, sharing what we have and sharing you and sharing this business instead of just filling that box. Because I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I have been in the position and in this business where I have just filled boxes. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you're not going to be able to just fill boxes and then expect that person to go ruby for your diamond chart. Okay. So finding people that want this and finding people that need this, and you can help them and give that drive, and they have that drive, that's what's going to take your business to diamond. And then guess what? They're not going to fall off when you go diamond. They're going to want diamond, right? So that's why I just loved what Kyler shared, because sometimes I get so stuck in the, filling boxes or the charting of it. And it's like, you really want to try to find people that want this just as bad as you do. And you know what? It may take a little extra work, but that's going to be okay. And I promise you it will be okay, because when I went diamond, it was a struggle to maintain diamond because I really did just fill boxes. So then I had to go back through and refill boxes to maintain diamond. That's not fun. So if you do it that way the first time, then it just makes your job, your life, your business just a whole lot easier, and it really builds the community of your team. And that's just so important as you go further in this business. So
hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
Can I ask? He mentioned the 4-year career and then he was going to send the link. I don't know if he will, but the very first time I listened to him, he sent it to me, and he sent it to you in a PDF. Truly, I totally agree with him. It was one of the things that really made me understand why I do what it is that I do in regards to money and wealth and so on and so forth. So I just mentioned that because if you can ask him for it, if anyone else wants to read it, it's just something I would strongly recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely get that. And Naisha just said she forgot her color, her personality color. You guys, it can change, just so you know. So in this business, I think when I first started, I was actually
blue.
I was going to say blue. And then I actually think I started to go like green. Like I was very green. You guys, I've never been red, right? I've never been red in like the first like 5 years, 6 years of this business, until the last like year or two. I could not be more red. I really am like, just let's go. Like I'm just very like driven like that. And that's not to say that's a bad thing, but it's okay to change your colors. It's okay to dabble in a couple of different things based on where you're at in your business, kind of thing. So, all right. Anything else before we end? And I'm so sorry this went longer than planned, but I know it was good for you guys. All the CEO's children that have actually worked at the bottom up. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. You need a Kleenex. All right. Can you say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye. You've been so good. Thank you for being patient. All right, you guys, I love you. And I'll get this recording up so you guys can share it with your teams when you get a second. All right, you guys, have a good night. Bye. You're welcome.